Welcome back to another episode of Action Movies for Dummies. And today we are going over Haywire 2011. I am your host, MJ. That is Shakes.
Good day, everyone. I trust we're all feeling well.
And before we get into the show, we have the action announcements from Shakes.
Hey, announcements, and they're not new if you listened last week. We are currently on YouTube, iHeart, Apple, Amazon, Deezer, Spotify, Facebook. We're all over the place, man. If you're looking for any kind of quick information, go to Facebook. Look us up.
And on Wednesdays, for a little fan interaction, we will be posting our dummy question of the week. Bah, 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 bah.
Woohoo!
And we will take some comments from the comment section and read them on the show. Yeah, so Haywire, Shakes, take over, brother.
I originally watched this movie right when it came out, and I loved it. I rewatched it for the show, and, wow, there are some holes in this bad boy. I will say that the cast is amazing.
Yes,
The fight scenes are incredible.
on point.
The director has done a lot, but then the storyline is just meh. It's
Yeah,
it's been
that's
done. Like,
definitely where it falls flat.
yes. Anyway, as we said, this movie came out in 2011, starring Gina Carano, who is an MMA fighter, which I honestly believe maybe the director had a thing for her and he just decided to make a movie starring her. I mean, she's been on The Mandalorian, so
Ah,
she does have a recurring role in that, but that's a long time in between roles.
right.
Also got Ewan McGregor, Michael Fassbender, Michael oh god, Angarano. You'd know him if you
Mm,
saw him.
yeah.
Channing Tatum, Magic Mike, Michael Douglas, Antonio Banderas, Bill
Ba-da-dang.
Paxton. Right, we got Desperado up in here. It was directed by Steven Soderbergh, who also did all of the Ocean movies.
Really?
Yeah, if you notice, the soundtrack in this thing is amazing.
Yes.
When you're in looking at car chases and things like that, they're using jazz. They're not using metal, they're not using an orchestra, they're using jazz,
Yeah.
and it's really good.
It
And, like,
does set the mood
it really does, but you notice in the fight scenes, there's no music at all. You
at
just hear
all.
flesh pounding on flesh. That's all I think they wanted you to hear.
Right.
Um, he also did the Magic Mike movies. Uh, wonder how Channing Tatum got into this one. So so it cost $23 million to make this movie.
Mm,
Worldwide, it made 34.5 million. Movies need to make 2.5 times their budget to cover their marketing and theater costs, so this movie was considered a box office flop.
we got a flop on our hands, people.
Yep, and although it did suck financially, on Rotten Tomatoes, it's rocking at 80% approval.
Like you said, the story has been done 1,000 times,
Right.
but what definitely sets it apart is the fight scenes and how the music sets the mood.
Even even the colors in it are pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Uh, Now you could talk about what's a flashback and what's not. The movie jumps through time all over the place. So,
Oh, yeah. We will get lost. I never heard of this movie before you brought it up. Usually some of the movies that you bring up, I don't know right away. Um, I knew
well,
who Cat
I can sniff out a box office failure. Don't worry about it.
I love that MMA. So a lot of these moves and techniques that she uses, I'm gonna go into detail with because she does a phenomenal job in the fighting. All right, brother, you ready to dive in?
Let's go.
All right. Movie opens up to Mallory Kane, Gina, standing in the cold, and she's standing across the street from this mom and pop diner. She walks in, she grabs a table, and she starts scanning the diner. She sees this black car pull into the parking lot. Mallory recognizes the man that steps out It's Aaron, Channing Tatum.
Magic
He
Mike.
he sees Mallory. He joins her at the table. He's there to pick her up, but Mallory refuses to go. She asked if he, not Aaron, but someone else, told him anything. Aaron said no, he was just told to pick her up. They then have some small talk, and the waitress brings Aaron coffee. When she returns with the coffee, Aaron throws the coffee in Mallory's face and breaks the cup over her head, knocking her out of the booth. He then picks her up by her hair and punches her in the face a couple times. Mallory swings but misses. Aaron kicks her into the counter and bounces her head off of the counter, then picks her up and slams her on the ground, climbs on top, and throws a couple more punches. A bystander tries to help Mallory by pulling Aaron off. Mallory uses this opening to trip both men, which I thought was fucked up because the other dude had nothing to do with this.
He's like, "Hey, I was just trying to help." And this
and
all
with
came out of nowhere, man. They're having this decent civil conversation, and it's just ass kicking. I'm
yeah,
like, "Where are you, Waffle House? What is going on right now?"
while these two men are now tripped on the floor, Aaron elbows the man in the face to let him go and pulls out his gun to aim at Mallory and goes to fire. But as he fires, the waitress hits him over the head with a coffee pot.
Hell yeah.
Mallory takes this opening again to charge at Aaron, grab his arm with the gun, do this judo roll, and lock him into an armbar. She pulls his gun away, hits him in the stomach, snaps his arm, gun butts him, kicks him in the stomach a few times, uh, gun butts him a couple more times, and points it at him while she collects her bag. She then walks over to a very scared Scott. Michael Angurio?
That's what I was talking about. I don't
Got
you'd know him if you saw him,
right.
okay?
And asked if he had a car. They both get into the car and pull off. Mallory then tells Scott that he's going to fix her arm while she's driving. She then walks him through how to patch her up. She thanks Scott and he begins to ask questions.
Yeah,
That scene was super intense because, like Shake said, it came literally out of nowhere.
just this quiet little conversation, and then it's just chaos.
And like you said, no music.
No,
No music.
no, it's just
Just
br
breaking shit. Yeah.
breaking glass, breaking bones.
We find out that Erin is someone that she worked with in Barcelona, and the government contracted the company that she works for. Scott then asks, "What do you do?" All right. Shake said there's a lot of cutscene jumping, time jumping. This is the part where it time jumps the most.
Yeah, basically, the whole movie is her and Scott in this car, and she's giving him the whole story, which in turn is giving us the whole story. So every
Right.
time she's explaining it to him, you get a flashback. But then we cut back to the car again where she's just talking with Scott.
All right. Here we go. Scene cuts to Washington, D.C., where Kenneth Ewan McGregor is going over files and speaking with Alex Cobles, Michael Douglas, and Rodrigo, Antonio Banderas.
That's
Banadan.
Desperado.
Scene cuts to Mallory arriving in Barcelona, and she has a room full of weapons. Scene cuts back to the men talking, and Kenneth says that he needs more info, and Rodrigo does not look too forthcoming. The scene jumps to Rodrigo and Mallory now meeting. Scene jumps back to the men, and Kenneth is saying that they need more pay. Scene jumps to Mallory and Aaron now meeting for the first time, and they are annoying the shit out of each other.
Yes, they are. And it's like they're doing it on purpose. It's like somehow she's trying to create a dick throwing contest.
Scene jumps back to the men, and Alex said if he should be worried because it's a very tight time window. Keith said, well, you can hire other men, and begins to walk out. Scene jumps to Mallory and Rodrigo talking again, and he asks, how long have you worked for Kenneth? And she says about 3 years, and that's a long time for the line of work that they're in. Scene jumps to Kenneth and Alex. and Alex wants Mallory on the mission. Uh, Kenneth says she's not available, but Alex says that's the only reason they came to him. So Kenneth agrees. Scene cuts to Mallory and Aaron in a van, and they're running some type of sting operation. We see all these pictures and news clippings of a man named Jiang.
And jazz music is just pounding at this point. It's really good.
Yeah, it's so good. Also shows Mallory and Aaron watching an apartment and photos a man coming out and times how long he's gone. Mallory talks her way into the building, and as the man returns and she goes to leave, she puts putty on the back door, and as she leaves the front door, another man slips in. Scene cuts to Mallory and Aaron and two other members of their group. They are not introduced, so I have no idea who the hell they are.
Fair enough.
They are going over the plan. Aaron sees flaws in it, but everybody else says we're good to go. Scene jumps to the team sitting on this apartment, and the man exits. One of the team members goes through the back door that Mallory rigged earlier. Another member exits the car and leaves Aaron. The first member opens the door for Mallory and the other member. They pull out their guns and they begin to move up. Aaron is watching from a live feed in the car. Mallory and the man breach an apartment and rescue Jiang. As Aaron tries to position the car, there's a dump truck in the way. As they exit the building with Jiang, the man that left their apartment is now coming around the corner, sees them, pulls his gun, and begins firing.
This
The
isn't
team
an open
return.
street. This is a
This is the
busy open street. And he's just like, "Hey, that's my hostage."
and the team just returns fire.
Yeah, oh, yeah, no, if you just happen to be getting a donut on that street that day, you're
Fuck.
screwed, man.
They get the hostage in the car, but Mallory takes off after the bad guy. He runs down the alley and tosses his gun. Mallory chases him. He almost gets hit by a car, but Mallory does this awesome action run over the car. And then they get into this really, really long chase.
Right, like, let me just say this and then we'll quickly move on. Mallory is running. Okay, that's all.
Yes.
It'll
The
make sense later.
whole it's like 35 seconds of her running. And
Right.
there's even a section where they front face camera her.
Mallory is running.
The man then runs into a building. As Mallory enters this building, he hits her with a rack of silverware. He turns to run, but she throws this metal tray at the back of his head, knocking
It
him
was
down.
it was so good. He's just like, "Eh," and he knocks some silverware on the floor, and she just grabs this thing like a Frisbee golfer and just pecks him off on the
And
back of the head. He goes down.
it makes this beautiful sound, this bong.
Boom.
He tries to get up, but Mallory sprints at him, dives on top of him, and pins him down while placing her feet on the wall. I thought that was fucking sweet. She then kicks off the wall, spins onto his back, and tries to start choking him out. The man tries to start to stand up and throws Mallory back against the wall, and she lets go. He takes a swing, but Mallory ducks underneath and throws a spinning back elbow. I thought that was insane. Knocking him back, he goes to swing again. She kicks the punch away, plants her foot on the wall, does a spinning kick, knocks him down. He kind of looks up at her again, and then she kicks him in the face again, and then drops a gate on him to hold him in place.
He got handled,
Yo, she kicked his ass.
and she did it well. I was like, "I don't care what you did on who, you got your ass kicked, brother."
What I thought was funny, she pulls out her phone, and while he's pinned down, he flips her off, and then
Yeah.
she sees it and flips him off back. Really good scene. Really good fight
"No,
scene.
fuck you, buddy."
I hate you.
I
I hate
hate
you too.
you too.
Scene jumps to Mallory and Scott in the car again, and they're going over all the names so far. Scene cuts to the team with Jiang, and Mallory is going over instructions, but he's too scared to talk. Scene then jumps to Aaron and Mallory handing Jiang over to Rodrigo and some other men, and they leave. Aaron says done, and they walk away. Scene jumps to Aaron getting ready to leave, but he asks Mallory why did she go after the man after they already had Jiang. She said she doesn't like loose ends. Aaron asked if she's going to leave the company, and she said she already did. They start to talk some more, but she tugs on his belt, and they have this awkward kissing scene. Oh
Well,
my.
right
Oh.
before that, Aaron asks her, "Are you and Kenneth still a thing?" And she's like, "That ended 6 months ago."
Mm,
And he's like, "Are you still with the company?" And she's like, "That ended half an hour ago."
right.
So, her and Kenneth have a ooh la la kind of relationship in the past.
Right. Yeah. I think they were actually married at one point
Ooh, I didn't catch
and
that.
broke it off. Yeah. Um Scene jumps to Mallory home in San Diego. As she's going through her mail, she hears someone trying to get into her apartment. She pulls out a gun from the drawer and checks, but relaxes when she sees it's Kenneth. She opens the door. They kind of have small talk, but of course he's there for a job. He says that he's got a guy from MI6 and they asked for her specifically. His name is Paul, and he's close to a strange character named Studer, and MI6 wants to use this opportunity to get close to Studer. But Paul has said that he's one half of a power couple, so they need Mallory for, in her words, eye candy.
Eye candy.
She's a little hesitant, but agrees. Kenneth then gives her a pin so that Paul can spot her. Paul is played by Michael Fassbender. I don't know if
Right.
he's German, but I've been saying his name like that for like 4 days now.
You might as well.
Scene jumps to Mallory wearing this brooch or pin in Dublin. She meets with Paul, and they immediately go into character, kissing and hugging, even holding hands on the way out, and they get this taxi to a hotel. When they get to the hotel, they both check their guns, but put them away. They pull out all types of equipment and cash. As Paul says he's going to go take a shower, Mallory sees his phone on the bed. She pulls a glove out of her bag and her laptop and starts to steal the info off of Paul's phone and turns on his tracking. He comes out of the bathroom, but Mallory's already back on the couch, playing as if she didn't do shit.
Like a secret agent almost.
Mal- Mallory then goes to the bathroom, but she smartly takes her phone with her because as soon as the door is closed, Paul starts looking for it, but only finds the pen. As they both finish getting ready, they both decide to leave their guns behind. It shows them pulling up to this big house with a party going on, and they're going inside.
Yeah,
Scene and they said she was gonna be eye candy. She was definitely eye candy in
she
this part.
steps out in this black dress, and I'm like, "Hello, nurse."
Hello, nurse. Yes, indeed. Scene jumps back to Scott and Mallory in the car, and she tells him to remember Restboro. That's where they were supposed to meet Studer. Scene cuts to Mallory and Paul waiting and having small talk. As they're scoping out the party, a security guard recognizes Mallory, but they meet with Studer. He then changes plans on him. As Studer starts to walk away, Paul tells Mallory to go after the guard and that he's going to talk to Studer. Mallory finds a door that leads to a set of stairs. She then pulls out her phone and begins to track Paul.
Now,
Then,
something I wanna bring up.
mhm,
for no reason whatsoever, really. But her phone is a freaking BlackBerry.
All of the phones
I
are Blackberries.
yeah, I well, it was the government issued phone back in the day, so it makes
Mm.
sense, but I had a BlackBerry, and I freaking love that phone. Bring it back, man. Bring it back.
I had I actually had the, BlackBerry Storm, the one
Yeah?
that had the touchscreen.
Yeah, ooh.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah,
I didn't
yeah,
have
yeah, yeah.
that. No, no, no,
Yeah,
no.
I had that. I think that was, like, one of the last ones that they put out too.
I just had those tiny little buttons.
She then makes her way up the stairs. She finds a room and watches Paul and Studer from a window. From a
What
window.
a winder. Yeah, you call yourself New York.
A window.
Whatever.
What
You
the
cut
fuck?
you just got country as a biscuit. Yeah.
They have a small talk, and Studer walks away as Paul walks into what looks like a barn. As Mallory is making her way through the house, she runs right into Studer, and he guides her the other way. But of course, Mallory finds her way outside and to the barn. She goes inside this barn and finds a bed with a handcuff on it. She then finds a dead Jiang under the bed. She checks his hand and finds the pin she was wearing earlier to meet Paul. She then receives a call from Paul, trying to figure out where she is. She lies and says she went to the bathroom. Paul said he spoke to Studer and they should go. And as you can see now, little pieces are being set into place. Pieces
Right,
that she was not supposed to know about.
right, but, I would have been pissed, man. I did this whole mission to save this guy, and then I find him, and he's got a bullet in his head, and his throat is slit. I was like,
Mmm.
it was all for nothing.
They get back to the hotel and give each other weird looks. And Mallory takes off her shoes as Paul opens the door.
Oh my god,
As
the tension. The
mm,
tension right here as they're walking in.
as soon as they get through the doorway, Paul then hits Mallory right in the back of the neck and rams her head into the wall. Starts to choke her from behind, but Mallory throws her back against the wall and she uses her heel from her shoe and stabs him in the leg. Paul then throws her across the room. He walks towards her, throws a couple shots. They begin to fight. Paul gets the upper hand and starts to choke Mallory from behind again. Mallory uses her surroundings, pushes off of the couch, throwing Paul against the wall, but he doesn't let go. He just turns her face around and starts ramming it through glass. He then hits her in the back of the neck a few more times. She then elbows him in the balls, throws a back elbow straight up into his face.
I mean,
Then she stands up, picks a vase, breaks it over his head, grabs his arm, and does a beautiful judo throw right over this small table.
like, he gets a couple of shots in, but, well, she does a lot better.
Man, yeah, it's a little back and forth, but when she gets
Yeah.
the upper hand, she kicks his ass. Paul then pulls out a knife and comes at Mallory, but she tackles him over the couch. She then starts to choke him standing. She's doing a standing guillotine. And then to get extra leverage, she jumps up and wraps her legs around him and pulls tighter. That is sick.
Uh, you know all of these details. All I was looking at is, wow, she's doing all this in a little black dress.
Paul then rams her into the wall, but she doesn't let go. She keeps him hooked and throws some shots into his ribs, turns him, knees him in the face a couple times. And I said, her Muay Thai looks fucking tight. Her Muay Thai looks sick right here. She then throws him against the wall, kicks the leg from underneath him. Paul reaches out to grab her, but she knees him in the face and then kicks him in the face. She takes a step back and Paul stands up. She then kicks him through a glass door.
Like, at this point, why would you stand up? Just lay down, man.
Paul then tries to plead with Mallory, but it's just a way for him to try and get to the gun that's under the mattress. Mallory sees this and kicks his hand away, but in that second, Paul scoops her up, drives her back into the TV, and then swings her around, throws her onto the bed, and then climbs on top and throws down a couple of punches. Mallory then throws on this triangle choke. And
Yeah.
Paul shows that as his face legit starts to turn red. I think she really put him in this choke.
Hey, she probably did.
It was pretty sick.
Lucky bastard.
You're a sick man.
I know. I know. Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Paul starts to fade out, but Mallory still has this choke locked onto him as he rolls off the bed. She just rolls with him. She throws a couple more shots down and grabs a pillow and shoots Paul square in the face.
Squan face.
Scene jumps back to Scott and Mallory, and Scott is a little shaken by that story.
Why did I let this woman borrow my car?
Scene cuts back to Mallory in this hotel, and she cleans herself up and she goes to leave. She looks at Paul's phone and she sees there's some missed calls and some missed texts. She calls the last number and finds out it's Kenneth on the other end. Thinking it's Paul, he asked if he killed Mallory. And after some silence, he realizes it's Mallory. She hangs up. Scene cuts to John Kane, played by Bill Plaxton, Mallory's dad, receiving a phone call from her, and she says she's coming home for a bit. And he says, okay, just be careful.
Bill Paxton playing her dad. He is what we've learned so far with little bits and pieces is he was a big time military general. He's retired. He has written his own book um, about his time in service. That's doing well,
Mhm.
and he is the only person that know that Mallory is a secret agent. Um, she does not give that information to anyone but her father and coworkers.
Right,
And when they're talking on the phone, you can clearly tell it's code. Like,
right.
what they're saying to each other is code. He immediately knows something is wrong.
As Mallory leaves the hotel, she notices a man across the street. As she begins to walk, he begins to follow her. Mallory then takes off running.
Mallory is running. Carry on.
She runs into this parking garage and gets rid of her phone before continuing on. She then makes her way down an alley, and the back door of this fast food restaurant swings open, and she runs through it and goes out the front and gets away. She then takes a taxi to get a new phone, but she feels something is off. She then cuts into her backpack and she finds a tracker. Cops begin to flood the area, but before they can pull up Mallory
Is running.
across the street to the hotel, she then runs up the stairs trying to block the way as heavy duty cops come in with their guns drawn. Mallory runs to the roof. Did you notice in in this scene when she gets to the top, she takes a wrong turn?
I didn't, but you know what I did notice?
Yeah, when she gets to the top of the stairs, she makes the immediate left, and there's a wall there. And she
Oops.
turns back around, and then she comes back through the door. She looks right, and then looks left, and then takes off running left. She then runs from one roof to the other before the cops can catch her. She tries to get out of the building, but there's more cops making their way up. So she turns around, kicks her way through this door, but the cops are hot on her ass. The cops enter this dry cleaner, and Mallory is hiding in the racks. As the cops walk past, Mallory starts one of the racks to start a distraction and pops out and knocks one of the cops to the ground, grabs the other cop before he can fire, kicks his ass and tosses him The other cop tries to join back in, but Mallory chokes him out with the strap of his own gun.
Man, these are just cops trying to do their job. They're not part of the government, and she's just beating the shit out of them. Like, they had
She
no idea what they were walking into.
she punches him, and then the other cop tries to join into the fight again, but of course gets manhandled by Mallory. The first cop tries to join in yet again, but Mallory kicks him in the head, and as she's walking past, Superman punches the other man out.
Yeah, yeah.
It shows the cops on the ground looking for her, but she's jumping from rooftop to rooftop. She makes her way down this building by climbing down poles, but she slips and busts her ass as she
You know
hits the
what that
ground
is?
hard.
You know what that is? That's karma for just beating the shit out of a couple of guys just trying to do their job.
Mallory then finds this hoodie in a car, and she's able to slip past this blockade. They even guide her. Like, hey, come on, lady, this way, this way. Do y'all
Ah,
not have a picture of the person y'all are supposed to be chasing right now?
you know what bugged me about this?
What?
Like, when this scene first happened, she's
Mm,
wearing, like, this wool, like, tweed, whatever coat, looks cool as shit. She's
yeah,
got this hat on, it's kinda tilted to the side. It I mean, she looks good.
yeah.
And then all of a sudden, she puts on a hoodie and a baseball cap and starts staggering, and now she's, like, homeless and drunk. I'm like, "Do you realize that's what I wear every day? A hoodie and a baseball." Like, that hurt my feelings. And the police are like, "Oh, poor thing."
Holy shit. Mallory then calls Rodrigo and she lets him know that she knows that she was set up. Mallory then finds her way into this dock. Scene jumps to Alex receiving a call from Rodrigo and he's warning him about Mallory. Alex tells him to keep the family inside while he gets everything sorted out. Alex then calls Mallory. He tells her that he's not the one who set up Barcelona, but she said he helped. She asked, can he bring her in? And he said he can, but he wants her to do some more digging on Kenneth. He believes he's working for somebody, and it may be Studer. Scene jumps back to Mallory and Scott in this car, and she said she got a fake ID in London, cut through the Canadian border, and says that Alex set the meetup with Kenneth at the diner, but instead Aaron showed up, and now they're here.
So it was all just a ploy to kill her.
As they're driving along, they come across this random roadblock. So Mallory drifts the car and
Mm.
speeds the other way. The cops, of course, begin to chase her. Mallory then turns off road and starts driving through the woods, and it freaks Scott out. And the cops, of course, follow her down this road. And Scott says, man, I just got this car a week
A week
ago. And
ago.
Mallory goes, yeah, well,
Well, like, nothing I can do about that right now.
a cop then appears in front of Mallory, and Mallory then throws the car in reverse, and they have this very long reverse scene for some reason until they see the other car coming up behind them, and now she's pinned between two cars. But there happens to be this side road that she's able to turn off of that just happened to be there perfectly.
In the woods,
And it
in the
crosses
snow.
and it crosses. No, the
Right.
wackadoo shit doesn't end right there. Hold on.
No,
It
no. No, 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 no,
it
no.
crosses up the cops.
Yeah.
As Scott is complimenting her on her driving,
Er,
this fucking CGI deer hops out of nowhere and then literally jumps. They didn't hit it. It jumped through the back window.
Yes. Like, it's a buck. We're talking, like, full antlers everywhere. He's like, "You're a great driver." Wham!
Which causes Mallory to lose control and crash into a tree. As they exit the car, the cops pull up. Scott said, should they run? But Mallory said, nah, they've done enough. As the cops are taking Scott and Mallory to jail. They are radioed to take them to another location, and federal agents will pick them up.
That's not good.
Nah. Mallory tries to warn the cops, saying that they're driving right into a trap, but of course, they don't believe her. As the cops are sitting out of the car, talking, waiting for the agents to show up, Mallory slips her cuffs from behind her to the front of her. She then sees a black truck pull up, and before the truck can even fully stop, there's a man hanging out of the window, killing the cops. Mallory slips out of the back door, which I thought was fucking odd because usually cop cars are child locked.
Yeah,
And she finds this dead officer on the ground. She uncuffs herself. She grabs the gun off of him. She fires back and kills one of the henchmen, but the other one returns fire but dives into cover. Mallory shoots the tires of the black truck, hops into the other cop truck with Scott in it, and he goes to say something, but she says, "Get down," and he immediately listens. The henchman fires at Mallory, but she gets away. Mallory's trying to give Scott instructions, but he's freaking out. He said, "I'm supposed to be sleeping in, not getting fucking carjacked."
poor Scott.
Yeah,
Like,
right.
I kept
Tough go.
like, the whole time I'm thinking, maybe he's some kinda agent, maybe no,
I thought that too.
he's just
I
some random kid that was at a diner in the morning, like, nursing a hangover.
As we were watching the movie, in the beginning, innocent bystander. As the movie's going on, I'm like, why is he taking in all this information? He's gonna double cross her. Like, he's gonna jump on her.
Like,
But
yeah, I mean, it
he
was
never does.
and earlier when I said she never tells anyone that she's a secret agent except for her dad, well, I was wrong because she's clearly telling Scott every damn thing.
She says she's gonna give him a number and just to call and tell them everything that he knows. Scott then says, okay. Scene jumps to Alex meeting with Kenneth, telling him that he should be at Mallory's dad, telling him everything that Mallory has done. So the scene jumps to Mallory with her dad, and she's prepping the house and she's going over plans. Her dad says, hold on a second, like we can leave right now. But Mallory says she's not running anymore.
I'm not gonna run anymore.
She did
Oh,
have the Batman voice on, didn't
yeah,
she?
she did. She did.
Kenneth then shows up at her dad's house with two men and Aaron, and he starts to tell him what Mallory has done while she is hiding and listening in. Her dad plays on, that's not my daughter. She wouldn't do that. Kenneth thinks that he's tricked her dad by making him believe that he doesn't really know everything about Mallory. Her dad then plays along, saying that he heard from her 10 days ago and she mentioned Barcelona, but not Dublin. As they speak, the phone rings and Aaron goes to track the call. He says the phone pings overseas, so it has to be her. So Kenneth makes her dad answer the phone and thinks he can track her down. Mallory tells her dad to give Kenneth the phone. Her dad says to be careful and hands the phone over. Kenneth and Mallory then begin to speak. She wants to know why he sold her out, or was it Studer? Kenneth says she needs to turn herself in. Mallory says, okay, we'll do it your way. Aaron then says the phone is being tracked to in the house.
Oh god, how many movies have you seen where they're like, "The phone call is coming from in the house."
Yeah, but that's horror movies. The fuck is
I
that doing in an
know,
action movie, bro?
I know, but I'll give Channing Tatum this, when he says she's in the house, you can almost hear his butthole pucker. Alright, he is scared.
They begin to sweep the house for her, and her dad acts as if he didn't know that she was there. Aaron then starts to question Kenneth about what really happened in Barcelona, but Kenneth says he needs to focus all his energy on Mallory. The power then cuts. They hear a noise, and Aaron goes to investigate, leaving Mallory's dad and Kenneth alone together. Scene jumps to Aaron finding one of the men dead in a garage, and his brains are all over the car. He
Another
then
thing I
Mhm.
liked about this, when you look at Mallory at this point, she is in all tactical gear. She's put her hair in braids, and
Mm.
she has put the stripes of black across her face like she's in the woods, even though
Sick.
she's just in
Sick.
the house. But when she cuts the power, she knows that house. They
Yeah.
don't. They
Yeah.
don't know that house. So
Yeah.
she has the upper hand even though she's outnumbered.
He then hears footsteps and another crash, so he follows the noise and runs into the other henchman. They then split up again. The henchman then goes to check upstairs, while Aaron goes back to Mallory's dad and Kenneth and tells him that they have a man down. Kenneth wants to go to the car, but Aaron says that's a bad idea. The whole time, Aaron is getting texts. It's pictures of Jiang dead. Kenneth then blames Mallory. Aaron starts to put together that Kenneth tried to burn Mallory, but Kenneth then shoots Aaron in the gut. While this is going on, the henchman that is clearing upstairs has now run into Mallory. She springs out of her hiding spot and they begin to fight. She grabs his wrist with the gun, but he lets off a shot, not hitting her, but alerting Kenneth and everybody else. Kenneth points his gun at her dad and Aaron, who is still alive, and tries to leave. Mallory finally gets the upper hand on this henchman. Mallory's dad runs to help Aaron, but he says to go help Mallory. Mallory's dad comes upstairs and sees her kicking the shit out of this henchman and watches her execute him,
Yeah.
which kind of leaves him in a state of shock. As she comes out of the bathroom, they lock eyes and she says, "Where's Kenneth?" He says he got away. So she chases after him. She then does this action roll off of the balcony and then
Mallory is running.
knees to chest every time.
Yeah, no, and breathing just like that.
She then realizes he got away and then says the cheesy line, "Yeah, you better run."
You better I actually wrote that down. You better run.
Yeah, she
Come
did have the
on.
Batman voice that time
Come on, man. You'll never get away with this.
That's a buried crate right there, man. We got to dig that one up one day. Mallory then goes back into the house and finds a dying Aaron. She tries to help him, but he, of course, dies. And Mallory is a little moved, and she has memories of the night they shared together. But her dad snaps her back and gives her a hug. But Mallory has these cold ass eyes while they're hugging. It
Right,
shows that Kenneth didn't necessarily leave, but he did make it out of the house. The scene then jumps to a motorcycle flying down a runway. It's Mallory, and she's meeting with Alex. He's trying to talk Mallory down because she's just pacing around this hangar. He reveals that he sent Kenneth to the house as part of their plan and wants to employ her instead of be her enemy, which is a very smart fucking decision.
right. Yeah,
Ma-
it really
Mallory
is.
Mallory is hesitant and even gets Scott a new car out of the deal.
Right.
Cause she says, "Hey, what about the dude that helped me?" He goes, we'll get the get the ding out of his car." And she gives him this cold stare and he goes, "All right, we'll get him a new car." I was like,
Yeah.
hell yeah.
Right, let's go.
A dub for Scott. Let's go, baby. Mallory asks where Kenneth is. Alex said that they had different sightings in different places, but won't give her full info unless she joins the team. Mallory says she'll let him know and rides off on her bike.
This dude was slimy. Like, he was a creepy dude.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah.
Kenneth was a piece of shit.
Yeah, he was.
Scene jumps to Kenneth in this small motel room, and he's making a call, and a man answers, and he's the driver of Studer. And Studer says Mm-mm. And the man tells him that he's not available, even though Studer is just looking out the back window, to be honest with you. So it's clear that Studer played Kenneth.
Oh, yeah.
He he now sees that he's been played while he's sitting on the bed. He grabs his gun. He then goes for a walk without his guard. He's walking along the beach.
Mhm.
He's walking along the water. He stops to look at the sunset.
Right?
And out of nowhere, Mallory is
Hold up.
haul assing. Like,
She's
dude,
running from, like, a mile away,
oh,
and he doesn't see her the whole it takes her, like, 5 minutes to get there.
holy shit. She no clipped out of nowhere. Knees to fucking chest, sprinter running.
But in his defense, you can't hear much over the crashing of waves.
This is true. He goes for his gun, but Mallory tackles him into the water before he can get a shot off. They begin to fight, and Mallory is kicking the shit out of Kenneth. But he fights back and lands a couple good shots. He tries to grab her from behind, but she elbows him in the face, turns around and starts pushing Kenneth, punches him, and then tosses him to the ground. She then starts kicking his ass again. She gets behind him and starts to choke him out, but he elbows her in the gut and breaks free, slaps her, and then tosses her to the ground. Kenneth tries to run like a little bitch, but
Sorry, that really hit me.
but Mallory, of course, catches up, snatches him down to the ground, and but he flips her off of him and tries to run again, but Mallory walks him down instead this time, and he does not realize that his leg is fucking mangled. Oh shit. Somehow he broke his leg.
He is trapped in between rocks. Yeah, he's, like, stuck in
Yeah,
those rocks.
when he falls, he finally looks and realizes that his leg is literally facing the other way in between these rocks. It is so fucked up. While his leg is twisted up in this rock, Mallory tries to get info. Scene jumps to. This is where we get the whole layout. This is actually pretty good. Scene jumps to Studer and Rodrigo now talking about Jiang and how he's leaking information and how he knows that Mallory is leaving Kenneth's job. So he's going to hire Kenneth's company to bring Mallory along because she's the best of the best, and then they're just gonna have her killed. Scene then jumps to Kenneth laying out the plan to cross Mallory with Paul. We then see Rodrigo is the person who set everything in motion. Scene jump
So much double crossing.
so much double crossing, and it
Ugh,
it was a very simple plan, and honestly, none of the plan went wrong except Mallory being a badass.
right.
If
Like,
Mallory wasn't a badass, everything would have went off without a hitch, and it would have made it look like the reason Jiang was holding the brooch after he was dead was to make it seem as if she killed him.
yes. Like, the whole thing, they thought it was a rescue mission. There's nothing wrong with Jiang. They actually kidnapped him.
Yeah. Theme jumps back to Kenneth and Mallory at the beach, and he says, That's everything I know. So now that she has the answers she wants, she then walks away to leave him to die to the tide coming in, which fucking sucks. Because
Oh,
he has no way out of here.
that was brutal. His leg is, like, fucked up and stuck, and she's like, "Oh, yeah, the tide's coming in." Oh.
Scene jumps to Rodrigo being fed strawberries by this hello nurse woman.
You know what
The
else he's doing right here?
Oh, nope, nope,
He's
nope. Nope.
Nope, okay,
Hold on.
go ahead.
Hold
We're not
on.
there yet? Oh, oh,
Not
you
2
know where I'm
seconds.
going. You
2
know where I'm
seconds.
going, yeah.
And the doorbell rings. The woman gets up to go answer the door, and Rodrigo lights a cigar.
What? It's an action movie with a cigar?
We see the woman in the background get snatched up, but he's enjoying his cigar so much he doesn't even notice the sounds. He then calls out to his wife to bring him something, but he notices that she doesn't respond. He goes to investigate, and Mallory plops down behind him off of the roof, and they lock eyes. And the final line of the movie is Rodrigo going, shit.
Shit.
That was a fantastic ending to that movie,
I
man. That was
laughed my
fucking
ass
awesome.
off. I laughed so hard. He was just like he looked at her and he was like, "Well, shit."
Yeah, no. Like the whole movie in its entirety, it's definitely a B-list movie, maybe a C-list movie, but it's the action scenes is definitely what drags you in. It keeps you in the loop of that movie for
Like,
sure.
for me, it was like the clothes, the music,
Mm,
the locations,
mm,
um, all the actors. I mean, it had every reason to do a great thing. The action of was astounding in this thing.
yeah.
Um, but man, that storyline. I think if they hadn't jumped back and forth, I think it might have been a better movie.
I would say that it definitely has like a Guy Ritchie feel to it.
I was almost with the time skipping, it kind of felt like, Tarantino, Pulp Fiction kinda thing where they were like,
Mm.
the storyline's so basic, if we keep jumping through time, maybe it'll make it more interesting.
I will be a
I don't
thousand
know.
I will be 1,000% honest with you. I still don't know the storyline of fucking Pulp Fiction. I've watched that movie 30 times.
There I can't remember where you go to see it, but they do actually show it in a straight timeline, and it is not good. It
Really?
is yeah, it's hard to watch.
Oh, man, that sucks.
Yeah.
Because that's a fantastic
Oh,
movie.
it
Whose bike is this? It's Zed's. Who's Zed? Zed is
Dead,
dead,
dead.
baby. Awesome pick, brother. Awesome
Thank you,
pick. Yes,
thank
sir.
you. I'll probably do
And
much worse next week.
amen. I'm with it. On that note, this is Action Movies for Dummies. I am MJ. That is Shakes.
See y'all later.